Only three things about, okay, like length, weight, and capacity. Okay, so length we used where? Suppose I have a piece of cloth. Okay, I have a piece of cloth. This is a cloth. Is it visible to you all? Please show your thumbs up. Yeah, if it's visible, just show you. Okay, this is a piece of cloth. Okay, can I measure in a liter? Can I measure in a liter? No. Suppose this is a, what is this? Do you know what is this? Okay. This is a centimeter.
Measuring tape.
Yes, it's a measuring tape. Good. And this is a measuring cup, right? This is a measuring cup. This is a measuring tape. This is a measuring cup. And I have, actually I don't have a kilo and all, but I have some onions with me. This is an onion. Is it visible to you? Just show me a thumbs up, all of you. Just I will stop my sharing screen. This is some onions with me. This is the cloth. This is a measuring cup. This is a measuring tape. These all are different, right? These all are different. But we used to measure something like clothes, sugar, milk. When doodh wala comes at your home, what he use? Do you remember? Is he use measuring tape?
Measuring cup. Measuring cup.
Very good. So why he use measuring cup to measure a milk? Why? Can you give me an example? Can you tell me?
Length. Capacity.
Yes. So
Capacity.
Very good. Very good. So yeah, I will tell you, to measure a liquid form, we cannot measure in a measuring tape. Okay. Suppose this is a, what is it? This is a medicine, right? Liquid medicine. Can we measure in this inch tape and all? No. We will measure in a millimeter. Like this is small cup. This is a measuring cup, small. Doctor says take only 5 ml, not more than that, right? Yes, we will put and measure 5 ml. Then we use millimeter, right? Suppose this is a cloth. This is a cloth, right? This is a cloth. We cannot measure in a liquid form. Can we measure it? No. We cannot use a cup also to measure this. What is the length or breadth of this cloth? We cannot measure in a measuring cup. We will use measuring tape. Whether it's a 1 meter, 2 meter, whatever, we use measuring tape, right? Just show me thumbs. Just show me a thumbs up. Yes or no, whether you understand or not. Okay. And this is a onion. Can we measure in a liquid form? Can we measure in a millimeter? No. If I put only one comes. I don't know the weight. What is the weight? word to measure this sugar, rice, this bulky things like sugar, rice, onions, potatoes. We use this kilogram, kilo, right? Bhaiya, we go to the market or sabji vendor was, what we say? Bhaiya, 1 kg aap aloo de do, right? Or we say, bhaiya, 1 liter aloo de do. We don't say like that, na? We say, bhaiya, 1 kilo aloo de do aap. Or suppose milkman comes to your home, we say what we say? Bhaiya, I want 1 liter milk. We don't say, bhaiya, 1 kilo doodh de do. We don't say. We always say in a liter because doodh is always measured in a cup. Okay, there's a 2.5 cup, 500 ml cup, 1000 ml cup, write down like that. So understood what are the differences, why we use different kind of measuring unit to measure the different things. All of you understand or not? Okay, so I have already told you about the length, weight or mass, that is usually kilogram, capacity means cup. Okay, so first we will take the length. How to measure length? Suppose there is an ATM card or small piece of cardboard and all. What we use? How we measure? We can measure in an inch tape? No, it's become very big. In that in a length, there's a 3 different units are there, like milliliter. This is a, what is this? This is a millimeter. This one. Suppose this is, I have notebook. How we measure this, the thickness of this? We will measure in a millimeter. Yes or no? The smallest unit of meter is milliliter. Okay, smallest unit. To measure the, suppose you have a ATM card. Have you all of you seen the ATM card? All of you
Yes.
seen it? Yes. So how you measure that thickness of ATM card? What thickness he have? ATM card have? You will use millimeter, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
To measure the thickness of so we just look at here, it's written here, thickness of credit card, cardboard or 10 sheets of paper. Suppose I have a paper, I will show you. If somebody asked you or asked me, what is the meter? What is the thickness of this paper? How will you measure thickness of this?
Millimeter.
And what is the meaning of thick and thin? All of you know what is the thin?
Right.
What is thin? What is thick? This is the thickness. Thickness means mota, thin means patla. Okay. If somebody asks you what is the paper thickness, suppose this is a one paper, and somebody asks me what is the thickness of this, we will use millimeter, right? The smallest unit of meter. So here is written there. There is a cardboard, credit card, cardboard. To very short length. Okay, very short length. The thickness of credit card, cardboard or 10 sheet of paper that we use in a millimeter. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to the next slide. And centimeter. And now centimeter little bigger than milliliter. Okay. Suppose this is a safety pin. You can see here safety pin. Can you see?
Yes.
This is safety pin and this is a pencil. To use for the short length. Short length means suppose I have a here pen. I have a pen, this pen, okay? So we will use, what we use? We will use centimeter to measure the height of this or length of this pencil, pen, right?
Yes.
The length of a safety pin or pencil we will use in a centimeter. So this one is a centimeter. Suppose this I have a. So I will actually, we just leave, actually it's not written there, okay? So centimeter we use. Understood this? Our smallest unit of meter is millimeter. Okay, and after that is centimeter. The centimeter used for the length of short length, right? The centimeter is used for to measure the short length of, say, a safety pin, pencils and all. Okay. Okay. Now next is centimeter is also used for the measure the short length. Short length or short height? Is it visible to you? Yes. The centimeter is used for the measure the short length. Suppose this is height of this table. Suppose small table is there, or a small table you have in your house. Okay. And somebody asks you how to measure what is the height of this table. You cannot use in a meter. If you have any question, I will. You can ask me after this. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So centimeter we use for the short length or short height. If it is short length or short height, suppose this is a pencil. If somebody asks me what is the length of this pen, what is the length? Length means this one, this portion, okay? This portion. So we will use in a centimeter, not in a millimeter. Okay? Millimeter used for the thickness of this one. Millimeter is used for thickness of this paper. Measure this thickness, okay? And centimeter used for the short length. This is a short length. This is not big. This is a short length. So we can measure it in a centimeter. Okay? Understood? And short height means suppose I have a chair or something. So you have to measure in a height. Yes or no? And somebody height also measure in a centimeter, right? In your school, if you when you go to school and there is a height and weight measurement is there, right? Your school teacher may take your height and weight. How they use that? They use centimeter or a measuring tape to measure your height. It can be either in foot or either in a centimeter, right?
Yes.
No. Suppose my hair is this. I will ask what is the length of my hair? What is the length of my hair? What will you do? We will use centimeter. This measuring tape. We will do like this and then we measure this. Well, what is the length of my height? What is the length of my hair? Okay? Yes or no? So we will use a small short height or short length. We will use centimeter. Okay? Understood? Okay. Now next is meter. Suppose you have a car. You can see in a picture there is a car. Yes, car or length of room. So how we measure these things? We will measure these things in a meter. Meter is a little bigger than centimeter. Okay? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you understanding or not?
Yes. No, ma'am. Please repeat, ma'am. I'm not able to listen.
Okay, I will ask you the question. Okay, so we will use meter. Okay, meter. We use meter. Suppose you have a big car. Suppose you have a car. How will measure the length of that car? What unit you will use? If you measure in a millimeter, it will be very short. The number of that car will be huge, right? And if you measure in a centimeter, it can be very huge. If you measure in a meter, it can be a good. You can remember that, yes, my car is a 5 foot length or something like that. Yes? You will measure in a length, in a meter. A piece of cloth. Suppose you have a curtains in your home. You can see in the window, there's a curtains are there. We will use which unit? We will use meter, right? So what is the length of that cloth? What is the length or breadth? We will measure in a meter, right? Okay. Okay. So we will use meter to measure a long length, not a short length, but a long length. The length of a room, car, or truck. This can be used to measure which unit? Meter is used for the measure the length of long length, like room, car, truck, and all. Okay. Now next is a meter is also used for distance from one bedroom to another to kitchen. Suppose in your house you want to go in another room. So how will measure the distance? Yes, how will you measure the distance? You will use length now. You will measure that length by meter, not in a centimeter, not in a millimeter. If you measure in a millimeter, this a number of the distance will be used. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. For that we have to use a bigger unit. That we have to use a bigger unit like meter. Meter is used for the long length or short distance. Okay, we will use meter for the short distance or long length. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you can see this building or building and tree. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. For the long length. Can you see what is the height of this building? We will measure in a meter, na? Is the height of tree, building that we for the long length, short distance, or long height. We will measure in a meter. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Long length, short distance, and long height. We will measure in a meter. Okay? Okay.
Yes,
One more
ma'am.
time, I want to ask you. The meter, till now we have learned three units. One is milliliter, millimeter, centimeter, and meter. Okay? We have learned till now 3 units. Millimeter, centimeter, and meter. Right? The millimeter is the smallest one. Millimeter is smallest one. That is used to measure the thickness of credit card. Okay, please mute yourself. Your voice is coming. Yeah. So till now,
Excuse me, ma'am. Please repeat. I don't understand.
okay, what I'm saying, we have till now we have understood. We have learned 3 units, right? One is millimeter, another is centimeter, and another is meter. The meter is the biggest one. Okay. Our above meter is these all are brother and sisters. Just understand. There are 4 units we are going to learn. Millimeter, now another is kilometer. Okay, kilometer. These all are brother and sister. Okay. These all
Yes,
are
ma'am.
brother and sister. The millimeter is the smallest one, the youngest one. Okay. Okay. And after that is a centimeter. Centimeter. Then after that, meter. And after meter, the eldest one is kilometer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a measuring in kilometer. Where we use kilometer when we go one place to another place for the long distance. Okay. For the long distance, we use kilometer. Suppose you're going to from Delhi to suppose you're going to Delhi to Rajasthan. So we will say in kitna kilometer tha? What is the distance? You will say 250 kilometers, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. For that we
Yes,
use
ma'am.
kilometer. Yes. For that we use kilometer, right? For the long distance, to measure the long distance, we use what we use? Kilometer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now summary of this chapter. This topic is that there's a 4 units. In a length, we will basically we use 4 units. Okay. Millimeter. This is a millimeter, right? This is a millimeter that we use for the very short length. Very short length means the thickness of ATM card or thickness of this notebook. This book, what is the thickness of this? We will use millimeter. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now another is centimeter. Now centimeter used for the short length. This is a short length, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. For we use short length or short height. Suppose what is the
Yes,
height of
ma'am.
this notebook? Yes. We will use centimeter. Yeah, if you have a scale, I think you all have a scale, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you show me all of you if you have right now? If you have. Now look at there. There is a small lines are there. In a scale, the small lines are there. And there is a centimeter. That one, the small lines are there. That is a millimeter. And then big one. After 5, there is a one line bigger. Or then again, after 5 line, there is one bigger line is there. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Millimeter. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we will use for that for what purpose? To measure the length of short length or short height. We will use centimeter. A centimeter use also when you go to school or somewhere, they will height your, they will take your length, the height in a centimeter as well. Okay. And meter. Suppose this is a piece of cloth. This is a piece of cloth, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This cloth we will use
Yes, ma'am.
meter. We will use meter. Just look at their number. On a scale, there's a two sides. There's different numbers are written. Different numbers are written in a scale.
10 मिलीमीटर
Miss, I can.
सेंटीमीटर
अच्छा.
ओके आप देखो आपके स्केल पे डिफरेंट मेजरमेंट्स दिए होंगे. आप देखोगे वहां पे समवेयर. इज इट विजिबल टू यू ऑल? आपके स्केल में भी ऐसे छोटे छोटे लाइंस होंगे. In a scale also there's small lines are there, then after that one bigger line. This one line is,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, this is a centimeter. This is small, this distance is a centimeter. Okay, and this above the small line is a millimeter. Understood? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now listen to me. If you, why we use in a different unit? This is question arises in your mind now. Yes or no? Questions comes in your mind. Why we use different unit, different meters like millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Right?
Miss, I cannot hear you neatly.
My voice is not audible to you. I think
Yes.
I think network issues are there. Okay, so we will use centimeter. Why? Suppose to measure this length, we can use centimeter easily. We will remember the number is also very easily. Okay. Suppose we are going to one place to another place. We use kilometer for the long distance. From Delhi to I'm going to Rajasthan. The distance is 250 kilometer. But if you convert into meter, it will be huge number, right? It will be very difficult for us to remember that number. But to reduce that burden, reduce that numbers, we have the number is invented the kilometer, meter, centimeter, millimeter. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Yes. So now can you tell me what are the measuring length units are there?
Millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer.
Very good.
Meter.
And kilometer is used for what?
Meter, kilometer. From distance.
Okay. And meter is?
Short distance.
Very good. And centimeter?
Long distance, short height.
Short length and short height. Shuryan, very good. And millimeter?
Very short distance.
Very good. To measure the very small length. Now, can you tell me what unit we will use to measure this finger?
Ma'am, centimeter. Centimeter.
Centimeter or maybe a millimeter, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But to measure my height, what meter you will prefer? Millimeter or centimeter? Meter.
पर्यंत
To
हा
measure my height.
सेंटीमीटर
Ma'am, millimeter.
सेंटीमीटर 6 सेंटीमीटर
Milliliter.
Yes. No.
Meter.
Millimeter. If you measure in a millimeter, it become very difficult for you to remember. Remember that number. For that purpose, we will measure in a
meter
centimeter.
चाहिए.
Yes.
Centimeter.
Yes, we will measure in a centimeter. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
To measure this cloth, what we will use?
Centimeter.
Centimeter or meter?
Meter.
For
Meter.
a short cloth, you can also say suppose you want half of this cloth. You want this much only.
Meter.
In a centimeter.
Centimeter.
Yes, we can measure in a centimeter. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And there is a unit. These are the unit. This is the basic knowledge of the meter, centimeter, and kilometer. Okay. And after that, there is a we have to convert meter into centimeter, centimeter into millimeter, meter into kilometer. This is a bigger huge chapter. But today we will discuss about this much only. Okay, so I hope you all understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? So is it clear for
Yes,
you what is the millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wait a second. Okay. So this is the one. If you have any questions or anything, you may ask. Or hello, hello. Or shall I tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't have any questions, so may I proceed further? May I? If you have don't,
Yes,
don't have any okay. I think you don't have any questions. You don't have any doubt. Okay. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here this we are now we will convert meter into centimeter. Okay. Suppose this is a 1 meter cloth. Okay. You have to remember this 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter, right?
Yes.
1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. Okay. To convert it into meter into centimeter, we have to multiply. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Don't go this. I think this will be a very. You just remember that 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. To convert the meter into centimeter, we have to multiply. Simply understand whenever we are going to. Okay. First, tell me meter and centimeter. Which one is the bigger unit? Centimeter or meter? Which one is the bigger?
Meter.
Huh?
Meter.
Okay. And centimeter. Okay. And centimeter is? Is it smaller? Okay. So always remember when you are going to the bigger unit to smaller, right? You are going to bigger to into smaller, you have to multiply. You just write down here B to big to a small. You have to multiply. Okay? When you are going to the meter to centimeter or bigger unit to smaller unit, you have to multiply. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So suppose 1 meter equals to how many centimeters?
100
Very good. Okay. So when we are going to the big to small, what you need to do?
Multiplication.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. When you're going to the meter into centimeter means bigger unit to smaller unit, you have to multiply. Or if you're going to the smaller unit to bigger unit, you have to divide. Okay? Okay? Okay, now I'm telling in Hindi. So, आप जब बड़ा यूनिट से छोटे यूनिट में जाओगे, आपको मल्टीप्लाई करना होगा और छोटे से आप बड़े यूनिट में जाओगे तो आपको क्या करना होगा? डिवाइड. Okay? When you're going to the big to small, you have to multiply. If you're going to the smaller unit to bigger unit, you have to divide. Okay, so don't forget this. Yes, so don't forget this. Now one more time asking you. If you're going to the bigger unit to smaller unit, what you need to do?
Multiply.
Very good. If you're going to the smaller unit to bigger unit, what you need to do?
Divide.
Very good. Now I'm giving you one question. Just convert it. So 12 meter into centimeter.
100 meter.
12 into 100 कर दो.
120 meter. 1200. 100 centimeter. 120 centimeter. 120 centimeter. Meter equals
One,
to
just I'm solving this.
1200 centimeter.
Okay, 1 meter equals to
100
100
centimeter.
centimeter. So 12 meter equals to 100 multiplied by
By
12.
12 centimeter.
Yes, 12 centimeters. So overall how much? So 1200 centimeter.
1200 centimeter. क्या?
100 centimeter.
Okay, so understood?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
When you are going big to small, you need to multiply.
Multiply.
Okay, now next question.
Big unit अगर बड़ा unit
Now, अभी तो आपने you just have saw कि big to small how we go. We are going to the big to small. We have to multiply. Now we are converting centimeter into meter. Okay? Yes or no? Okay. Now tell me. I have one question. Is it easy for you 1200 centimeter remember to or 12 meter remember? Which one is easy for you to remember the number? 1200 centimeter or 12 meter, 12 centimeter. So 12 meter. Which one is easy for you to remember? 1200 centimeter or 12 meter?
क्या करना आसान
Ma'am,
है?
12 centimeter. 12 meter. 12
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes, 12 meter. क्यों आप देखो 1200 centimeter you said it become very difficult for us to remember that number, right? Because the number is big, 1200
Yes, ma'am.
centimeter. That's and when you're saying 12 meter, it become very easy for you to remember 12 meter, right? If your mama
ma'am.
told me, Bacha, you go to market and just bring 12 meter cloth for me. Okay, 12 meter curtains for me. From your house, mama told you to just bring 12 meter cloth for you. Okay? For home, for the curtains and something. If your mama said you, beta just go and bring 1200 centimeter. You will forget it only.
अभी join कर.
है कि नहीं? आप अगर मार्केट जाते हो और आपकी मम्मा बोलती है बच्चा आप 12 मीटर क्लोथ्स लेके आना, ओके? ये इजी रहेगा आपको मेमोराइज करने में, या फिर आपकी मम्मा बोलेगी बेटा 1200 सेंटीमीटर क्लोथ लेके आना. Which one is easy for to remember?
12 meter.
Yes, 12 meter. That's why we are learning or listening. We are knowing that why it is important for us to remember the millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Okay. So understood why understood why these units are invented. Understood now?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Just wait. Okay. I told you earlier, when you are going to the big unit to small, you have to multiply. Right? Now we are going to the smaller unit to bigger unit. For that, we need to divide.
Right.
So understood? I told you
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
going to big to
Yes, ma'am.
small, you have to
Yes, ma'am.
multiply. Yes, when you're going to big to small, you have to multiply. But when you're going to small to big, you have to divide.
To big.
So 100 centimeter equals to
1 meter.
centimeter equals
1
to
meter. 1 meter.
Yes. Okay, now I'm giving you another one more question. Okay.